Hello everybody! Welcome to the Happy Bookmaker. This is Carlotta. This is Carla's distant cousin, and I'm filling in for her this week while she's off doing other things, but it happens to be the right time of year for me to be here. Last year around this time we did a Witchy junk journal together and it was fabulous. Ended up going to Italy, of all wonderful places, and this year we're going to be doing another Witchy journal. However, it is more of a writing journal, more of an all-purpose journal. I don't care really what you do with it, but that is the plan. So let's get started. Okay, it's been so long since I've seen you. Oh my goodness. So I'm trying something new. Instead of my traditional red or black nails, I've had what's called a French manicure. Now, I don't know. I like it. It's a little odd. There's no color. It's white and nothing. But I'm trying to get used to it, so we'll see. But I did it for you. Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need is some sort of a book to make our spooky witchy journal out of. And so this particular book was constructed out of food boxes in a previous video, which we will link in the description box. So let's get started. Okay, so this box is about, or rather this book, it is about a little under 6 inches, not very precise there. By 8.5, and it has a spine of about 2 inches. That will be perfect. The plan is to do 3 10-page signatures, and the pages are going to be a beautiful rag paper that is suitable for watercolor. Obviously, writing, drawing, sketching, and watercolor. It's beautiful, thick paper, and has the deckled edges. So this is going to be the paper for our signatures. Okay, so what we need to do first is obviously we need to cover this book. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with sort of a red and black theme. You know how I do love red, blood red. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to first start by just kind of gluing this beautiful kind of fleecy red. It kind of reminds you of Santa too, doesn't it? It's kind of a Nightmare Before Christmas vibe, isn't it? Okay, so let's do some glue, and we'll start with the corners like we always do. Now I have already prepared the papers. Because of the kind of paper that it is, I went ahead and just printed images and sayings on the paper instead of trying to glue things on top of it, because again, of the kind of paper that it is. So they turned out beautiful. I think you're just really going to love them. So what we're going to do is fold in the corners like usual. I'm a little out of practice, everybody. It's been a long time since I've talked to you all, so forgive me if I flub a little bit. It could happen. Okay, so then we got that down. So now we're going to go ahead and bring in our sides. Okay, so that's one side down. Now I don't put glue on this part because I don't want glue coming through our beautiful red cover because it can seep through. Okay, so I did that side. So let's pull it nice and taut, and we're going to also do this side. And one last side. Now I want to really pull this because it's stretchy for one reason, and I want it to not have like big, wrinkles and gaps. And don't worry about this. This is all going to be covered. We don't worry about that. Okay. Okay. Need a little bit more glue up here just to glue that down. I know it doesn't look like much now, but you just wait. is that. So one thing I want to do before finishing the inside, because I want to have like a double layer of this tulle. You know how we love our tulle. So we're going to have this black tulle going around the back. And what I want to do is I want to hide it under our inside fabric. So that's why I'm doing this, because I'd like to have more than just one layer of the tulle, because we will be using tulle as our wrap again. I thought that was a pretty good idea, don't you? Okay, so let's just kind of bunch it up a little bit. We want it to be kind of bunchy. And I can pull that fairly snug here and put down a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm going to trim off some of this excess. And our inside fabric is this lovely fabric, these beautiful skulls and roses. I just think this is beautiful. Now what I did was I actually coffee dyed this, because let me show you. You see, if you can see the difference, this is quite white and this is a little more ecru. So what I did was I just dyed this in some coffee. You could dye it in tea, let it dry, and then I pressed it. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but none of my skulls have ever been bright white. So that's just my thinking. Okay, let's go on. Now I think what I'm going to do is trim off some of these little extra hangy things, because oh, I do love a good hanging, but it got a little bit ragged after washing it. I just hand washed it in the sink, so we're just going to trim that up. And again, never fear, this will all be covered. Okay, I think it's time that we can put this down. Now, is this the right size? It is going to be a tad bit lumpy right here because of this tulle, but that's okay, we don't care. We don't mind lumps. Okay, it might be, no, I think it'll be okay, because we're gonna put some trim around this, and what we have is this really pretty crochet trim, and it is kind of an ecru, so that is gonna clean up this edge. But before we even get to that, we are gonna be doing a pocket, and this is going to be our pocket. So that is just gonna lay right across here. I'm gonna let it go all the way across. Yes, we're gonna be sewing in the signatures into our spine here, but that's okay. That'll be perfectly fine. And I think it will be fine not to do any trim around it, but we'll see, because I've cut it very, very straight. So that is the plan. And then the trim, the ecru, is going to go around this part of it. We might do a little thing here. We'll see. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna feel free to put plenty of glue in the center and around the edges. Probably not as much in the middle, because again, I don't want that glue coming through. So let's just start. Want to make sure I leave a little bit of room for that pretty crochet trim. We got another hanging. Okay. Let's see how long I can go before getting glue all over my gloves. We'll just see. Okay. So perhaps I should do the trim, now that I think of it, before the pocket, so that it can sort of go underneath, if you know what I mean. So now the question is, do we have it going like this, with the ruffly side on the outside, or do we have the ruffly side going in? Oh, I think that might be better, huh? I think that that's better. Okay, so I'm gonna start the trim just under here. This way, we'll make sure that it's hidden under here. Okay. Okay. Now this will be messy. Okay. So I'm just gonna do a little bead. Now normally I wouldn't want to go over this, but we're gonna do it. Oh, and I went all the way there. That's okay, because the pocket's going there anyway. Okay. All right, and here we go. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a miter cut. I feel like a carpenter. And we're gonna turn and go this way. Yes, I think that is a much nicer look, don't you? I think so. Okay. Okay. Oh, I like it. That's really pretty. I guess I went all the way, but that's all right. That's all right. That is all right. Okay. That looks really, really good. Okay, so let's now do our little pocket, which is this. That looks really good. Okay, so I will just be gluing, obviously, around the edges. And maybe we can just do one little, oh, that could be really cute, huh? I think I like that. Okay. I also don't want it to get too thick because I'm hoping to use these little brass book corners, and we are going to zhuzh these up a little bit with a little gold gilt, because I don't think they're quite gold enough, and you know, there's always room for more gold. Okay, got that down. Let's see, that's nice and straight and neat. Okay, and a little bit of the red is showing. I do like that. Should we do this? I think that could be really pretty. And we're gonna let all of this dry for just a little bit while I show you the paper, because that is going to be the next step. Look at how pretty that is. I really like that. Okay, scary pretty. Okay, yes, I like that. Okay, and obviously the signatures are going to go here, so nothing is going to be able to go through the pocket. It will stay within the pocket, so that will be good. Okay. Yes, I like that. Okay, so as I said, we have 3 signatures of 10. Now, what these are, as I said, is rag paper. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna show you all of them after, but what I'm gonna do right now is arrange them in the way that I want them to be. For example, this would be, let me find the first one here. This is our first one. So this is plain. And this will be our first page. So what I'm going to want to do is arrange them in a way that I think is pleasing to the eye. I do want this to be the very center, because we do want to show this beautiful red witch with her kitty and her broom. So that is going to be in the middle. So basically, I just want to get in here and kind of arrange these pages. And they are going to be a little off, but I'm okay with that because I don't want to cut or mess with the deckled edge at all. I did have to trim a couple of them because they got messed up in the printer, but that's okay, right? That's okay. So, so we're just going to have like maybe every now and then a plain page. So what we have is 7 papers that have printing on them, and then we have 3 that are just plain. So like it may just be a saying. Remember, peace on earth, goodwill toward men includes witches. Samantha Stevens, Bewitched. Oh, I love Samantha. Okay, so let's continue on. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and arrange these and then show you when I'm done. And just for funsies, let's see how this fits. Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. And yes, it's gonna stick out a little bit, but I like that. Very witchy. Okay, let's get some holes punched in the spine of our journal. Now this will be interesting because I have to mark on here. I think we will go from the inside out. This will be tricky. So let's see. No, we're gonna do it this way because as you can see, then I can narrow down the space to the spine itself. So we have a little over 8.5 inches. And you know what? The beauty of this is that I have a little decorative piece to go over this. So if it looks messy, we don't care and no one's gonna see it. Okay, so we need about 4 1/4 to the center. So I'm just gonna put a big mark there, okay? And yes, I'm kind of cheating, and because I don't like dealing with those little numbers. So we're just gonna forget that they're there. Okay, and then we're gonna go in about 1 inch-ish. So somewhere in this neighborhood, okay? So that will be about 7.5 over here. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna make best as I can, just a little mark. So we know if it's 2 inches that we're gonna go 1 inch for the center, okay? And we know that this is about where we want this. So 1 inch right here. That is gonna be our center hole, okay? Oh, it's a little big. Okay, and then down here, again, this is kind of our area that we wanna be in. And the second one is pretty close, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, and then down here is, oh, where's there? Yeah, there we go. There we go. And that is right about here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do basically just equidistant in between the center hole and the edge, which should be about 1/2 inch, correct? Oh, don't we love math? No. Okay, like I said, this is all gonna be covered with this, which is kind of a little corset looking piece of trim. So that's gonna cover up all of our little messes and imperfections. All right, and so we're gonna be using the crocodile to get our holes into the spine. And we're gonna do the smaller. I think that should suffice. Holes done. Okay. All right. Holes are done. Okay. So the next thing is to take our beautiful signatures. These are so pretty. I can't wait to show you them. And I'm going to clip them. I'm just going to use big paper clips and clip them together so that they kind of stay put. And as you can see, 3 of these is going to fill this up beautifully. Okay. So now we're just going to match up the holes. Now I'm going to start with, let's see, this one. This will be our first one. Actually, I think this will be our second one, and this will be the last one. I guess that part doesn't really matter, but that's kind of the plan. Okay. And if you've watched any of the Happy Bookmaker videos where this is done, you know, feel free to fast forward. But if you haven't, this could be interesting to watch. Probably more interesting watching me than you know who. So, okay, so as this is the back, I'm going to go by these back holes, and we're gonna use this to stand this up. We're gonna cheat a little bit. Oh, I do love cheating. Okay, let's see here. it's really difficult to see these dark ones. Let's see, that looks about even to me. How about you? Yeah? Okay. So for funsies, let's just do this one, and then I will do the other ones on my own so that you don't have to watch and be bored. So let's move this out of the way. And our crocodile is going to go through all of these papers like butter. Okay, we have holes. And look, they're beautiful. They're perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna finish the rest and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we can sew in our signatures. Yeah, okay. So let's start with the back one. Which one did I decide? I think it was this one, okay. And what we're gonna be using is black embroidery floss. I thought that would be appropriate. So let's get our 3 lengths. 1, 2, I sound like that owl. 3, and a nice big fat needle. And there it is, okay. So I will be sewing in just one of these in front of you, and we'll do the rest on my own again, so that you don't have to hang around, although I do love a good hanging, as I said. Okay, let's get on with this. Let's just make sure that all the pages are going the proper direction before I actually sew this in. Okay, here we go, they're right. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the strings on the outside, because that's all gonna be covered, so it'll be nice and secure. So what we're gonna do is, since the string's on the outside, we're gonna come in from the outside and into our center hole right here, okay? And then we're gonna go down through the upper hole, and see, we've matched up. We're on the final signature here, and that's perfect. You see that went right through there, okay. And then now we are going to, I want to make sure I don't lose my string here. Now we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to come up through the end hole and into the end of the signature, and I just stabbed myself and it was very sharp. Okay, and now pull that through, don't lose my string. Okay, and now back through the center hole, and again into the center hole. Look, I pulled a little bit of that. There, I got it out. Okay, and just like that. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tug it. We're gonna make sure it's nice and snug, but not too tight. We don't wanna rip the paper. And you see, all of this mess is going to be hidden. So pull, 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 nice and snug. You know what I didn't do? I didn't come up on either side of our string. So we're gonna have to tie it more than once, okay. Tie once, back around, tie it again. That's okay, we'll have lots of ties on this. And one more time. Oh, I actually like the way that looks. It's very kind of spider webby, isn't it? Okay. And tie. Okay. So that is our first signature. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on with the other two. Okay, look at this. Oh my goodness, it looks so beautiful. We're getting really close. We're getting very, very close to being finished. So the next thing we need to do is finish the outside. So what we're going to do is lay this over, before we put anything else over this, because this is our tie and it needs to be under everything else. So we're just gonna lay it down, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the back side here that you're not gonna see. No one's gonna see it. Fear not. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm gonna tie it while I do that. This will give us a good idea. Oh, how pretty. Oh, how pretty, 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 pretty. So we have 2 more things going over this, I believe, unless I change my mind, which I want to do. So let's see here. I like that. That looks lovely. Okay. Just like that. And soon our trim piece is going to be going over this. Now let's go ahead and cut these even shorter. I did cut them off somewhat. And that is where this little guy is going to come in. That is going to go right over that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I like that. So actually, I think we can do that right now. So let's do it. Lots and lots of Fabri-Tac on the back of this, because we want this to stay nice and secure. And right over the top. Beautiful bookend. I love this. Yeah, I think that looks good. Looks pretty secure. That's not going anywhere. Okay. Now, I feel that that is pretty safe. I could, let's see. Can we do this without wrecking something? I don't want to wreck anything. Well, actually, I do, but let's see. That will just kind of hold it a little bit. I don't think it's going anywhere. Okay. Are we still straight? Yes. Yes, we are. Okay. So now let's finish the front. Now that we're like this, I don't remember what's the front and what's the back, so we'll have to open it and see. That's the front. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is, my feeling is a piece of black fabric, which I have lost and I have to find. Hold on. Do you know how hard it is to find a piece of black fabric on a black table? It's hard. Okay. So my feeling is, now I'm not so sure anymore. Let's see. Let's look at this. So what we've got here is, my feeling is this black piece of fabric, this beautiful trim, and then the red, I'm going to call it velvet, although I think it's fleece. But we're going to pretend it's velvet. And then this vintage pin attached. So that's my thinking, and I think I like it. I think we will do that, because I wanted some kind of almost like a double matting look for this, and I think that'll be beautiful. And then hopefully these will still fit. I think they will. I might have to open the backs a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be really pretty, don't you? Yeah, okay. Let's get this down. I'm gonna tie this tight again. Now what I wanna do is sort of spread this out before I put this fabric down, because obviously that's going to glue everything down. It's gonna seem a little lumpy, but remember, this is heavy and it's going over it, as is the trim. So how is this looking? It still looks really good. Okay, all right. We're getting close. And kind of the same thing with this is, I don't have to worry about the glue coming through necessarily, because it's mostly going to be covered. There's just going to be a little bit of it showing. Ah. I know what you're thinking. It doesn't look like much right now, but we're gonna fix that. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our trim next. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so we're gonna try to do the mitered corners again. It's a little difficult because as you see, it doesn't really miter very well. So, but I think it'll be easier than trying to, let's see what's easiest. I could just do it like that. You know, I have decided not to do that because I think I can make it look really neat by not doing that. Obviously one end is already like that, so we'll have to deal with it because one end has to be cut to get it started. Okay, sit back down and we're just gonna start. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna kind of overlap a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing here? The sun is shining in now and it might be a little hard to see. I'll take that off of there. Okay, so this is where it is. It's a little tricky. It's a tad tricky. So I'm gonna turn it like so. Now this is where it's going to look maybe a little different because I'm actually going to turn it and end just past the corner instead of trying to match it up on the corner. I hope I did that right. Okay, these little guys, they are little troublemakers. You are a troublemaker. Fiddle with this for a while and get it to stick. Okay, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. I love this. I just love it. Okay, I have already pinned this vintage pin. I don't know, I don't think it's valuable. Hopefully not. But this is gonna go down right in the middle of this. Now this is gonna be heavy, so whoever ends up with this is gonna have to be careful because you know, it's kind of heavy. However, the pin is only pinned on here and not glued, so it will be able to be removed if desired. So, so yeah, that's the way that's gonna look. Okay, I love it. And right down in the center. So do you see what I mean? There wasn't a lot of black that was going to show, but what it does is sort of create a little frame around this. Oh, that's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, we're almost done. I'm gonna let this sit and dry. Let's put a little, hopefully if we can, a little gilt. A little gilt on these. Let's see, I did wet this a little. Not supposed to use your finger, but since when do I follow the rules? Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe some on, let it sit for a minute, and then we're gonna wipe it off with a dry towel, kind of buff it in there. But do you see the difference? I'm gonna let it dry a little, and then we're gonna take a dry towel and we're gonna buff it off. We're gonna buff it and get off the excess, and then it should be nice and shiny, and it will match better the gold on the pin. Okay? Okay, so I've gotten the gold onto the corners, and I'm just gonna gently, with this dry little paper towel, I don't wanna wipe it off necessarily unless there's too much, but my idea is to just buff it. So it's kind of shiny. Kind of makes it want to stay. And these corners, by the way, I think that you can tack them in, but we're just going to be gluing them. Okay, you can see. Isn't that pretty? Not too gold, still plenty antiqued. Yeah, I think that's much better, much better. Okay, so I'm going to show you the last book corner. It is a little tricky, I have to say, because it's thick, and of course the glue wants to go everywhere. So I'll just show you one of them. I did loosen these a little bit so that it's a little bit wider. This is going to go right over that. And what is kind of tricky is getting the inside tucked in as well as the outside. And then I've been taking this palette knife, and here's a good use for a palette knife, kind of tucking that in. And after it's not quite so messy, I may fiddle with it just a little bit more, but there's a lot of glue coming out right now. So I'm gonna wash my hands and we'll come back and do a flip through. Okay, here it is. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Look at this. I love it. I just love it. Now, right now it's untied. We are gonna add a couple of things to our pockets. I went ahead and made up some very simple, pretty little witch tags for the pockets, just so that there's something in there to get started with. So we've got our beautiful, we'll call it red velvet, I believe it's fleece, cover. We have our beautiful little accent piece on the spine. I think that that is beautiful. And we have our antique pin, which can be removed. Now it does flop a little, so I'd be curious to see what you think. Do you think that I should go ahead and glue it down permanently, or should I leave it? So you see what I mean? It does flop a little. So we'll have to think about that. Okay, so let's open it up. And in our front pocket, let's go ahead and put down, just two of these. We've got these two pretty fun little witches, and they're gonna go right in here. And then this plain one, and now this is on cardstock so that this is able to be written on. So we have a couple fun little tags for the front pocket. I like that a lot. And then let's go ahead and go through the signatures. So this is a grimoire, which is a witch's diary, a witch's book of spells. It can be your grocery list. It can be where you write down your feelings. I don't care. Whatever you want to do with it is fine with me. So we've got some fun witch sayings. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. Aunt Frances Owens, Practical Magic. That was a fun movie. And so again, this is the rag paper, and I went ahead and just printed fun, witchy, spooky images on the paper. I have a little bit nicer, not nicer, but a little heftier printer that can take the rag paper, so I was able to do that. And so we've got some empty pages, you know, for writing down those spells or grocery lists, whatever you want to do. And then we've got some paper that has very slight image on it so it can be written on. Yes, kitty, I know. It's almost dinner time. And then we've got magic. We've got magic. I know, it's almost time. And then we have our pretty red witch in the center. There's a little witch in all of us. Aunt Jet Owens, Practical Magic. And that was the first signature. Again, 3 signatures of 10 pages each. Because it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft, Frank Sinatra, Witchcraft. Remember that song? That's a fabulous song. And here's that witch again, but she's not all red this time, and she's defying gravity with her little black cat. For all you know, a witch may be living next door to you right now. Roald Dahl, The Witches. How fun is that? Okay, so for the last section, potions. I'm not good, I'm not nice, I'm just right. I'm the witch. The Witch, Into the Woods. That is a great musical, by the way. Kitty is hungry. Relax, it's only magic. Sarah Bailey, The Craft. That was a scary movie. I loved it. And then we've got 2 more tags. Pretty little witch here. And this is on nice natural cardstock. And then this little guy too. How fun is that? And she's gonna tie up just beautifully with our black tulle. We do love our tulle. Oh, honey. I'm sorry. And there it is. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I loved every minute of it. Till next time.